Hey, so in this video, I'll be adding the functionality to complete or delete a to-do. So in last video, I have added the functionality to create the to-do, that is C of CRUD, and in this video, I'll be adding the T of CRUD, D and U, that is create or update a to-do. No, not create, delete or update a to-do. So yeah, let's open up Vim in my app.py file. I'll rename these. I'll just, yeah, I'll put get request as well. So I'll copy this one for function and I'll paste it over here. I'll rename this to delete underscore to do, delete underscore to do, and this will take and let's just, it's in get request to add slash delete, and it will take an integer type id. So this here you see it's in placeholder for any number I type here, and that number is will be treated as id by our function since I named it. So I'll add that thing over here as well, that the same variable name, same argument that I typed over, same variable name that I typed over here, I need to pass it inside the function as well. So what I'll do is get I'll get the id, not caps, get small get, and I'll get the id. I'll name it to do, and if I get the id, let's just delete it. So for that I'll do is tb dot session dot delete, and as I said, whenever we do any CRUD operation we need to commit this db session. So I'll commit it as well, commit, okay, and rather than returning index.html, let's just return him to home page. So I'll copy this from here and I'll save this. Yeah, so now let's add the functionality to delete from front end, which means in index.html I'll add it over here. So yeah, here I'll do is url underscore for name of the function, that is delete underscore to do, and it takes an argument that is id, which will be equal to our stuff dot id. So yeah, I'll close the parenthesis and yeah, this is it. I'll quit it and I'll do Flask run. I'll refresh this page. So yeah, this is our data from last video. I'll delete this and see if it shows an internal server error. What is this? Oh, oh, great. Let me show you the error. What I did. I did pass on this delete, but I never set to delete this to do. So yeah, great me. And I'll do one more thing over here. I'll do is if we didn't find this ID, I'll return this 404 error. So now we don't need to check if the ID exists or not. I'll write it and I'll do Flask run. And if now let's just go to home page. And here I'll do is delete. So yeah, database is working perfectly fine. Now to add the complete functionality, I'll add another field in our database table that will be is completed is underscore completed, and this will be db dot column of a boolean db dot bool and the default will be false. I'll write and quit this. I'll open my Flask shell, and what I'll do is from have import db. I need to create. Since I just updated my field, I need to create db again. I'll do create all, and yeah. So let's see if it's working or not. From app, I'll import to dos. I'll do t equal to to dos dot query dot first, whatever the first one is. T equals to dos dot query dot first. Sure, why not? Let me get over with this typos. QUERY dot first, and it shows an error. Since it's showing an error, I'll just delete the database and recreate it. A quick note, this is a bad practice. You should never delete a database. So rather than deleting a database, you should use another extension that is called Flask migrate to migrate your database. And rather than using default here, you should always use server default. The difference between default and server default is handled by SQL Alchemy. So if we don't pass anything in this is completed field, default the SQL Alchemy is responsible for adding false value if we choose default. And with the server default, this default value is handled by database. So in our case, that is SQLite, but if you are using Postgres or something like that, this will be handled by Postgres if you use server default. Since it's just a normal app, uh, I'll just use default, and I'll delete my database and recreate it. So for that, I'll do from app import db dot drop all, and db dot create all. It should have deleted and created all the tables. So you can check this. I should have dropped all the tables and recreated them. So Windows from app import import to do's. Now do to do's dot query dot all. So it's an empty list. Perfect. So now we can work on our is complete function that we are going to make. It will be same. So I'll copy it and let's change the let's change the function name and the argument a little bit. Complete, and I'll change the server name as well. So I don't know what was that, so I'll delete it manually. I'll do is complete underscore to do, and I'll just get that, and since we don't need to delete this, I'll remove it with the to do dot is completed equals to true. Yeah, true. So yeah, it's an CRUD operation, so we have to commit it and we will return it to home page. Now let's add URL for our this function in this button, complete button. So I'll do URL underscore for, and here we'll write name of the function, that is complete to do, and it takes an argument that is id. This will be equal to stuff.id. So I'll close this parenthesis, and yeah, that is all. It should be working by now. I'll add if condition over here. So as I said that whenever you put a logical statement, you need to put a curly brace and percentage sign in Jinja. So I'll add if to stuff dot to do stuff dot to do dot is underscore completed. If it's completed, then do not show this page, so that not over here. If not, then show this button of page. I'll have to end if, because it's a logical statement and you have to end every logical statement in Jinja. I told you, remember. So yeah, I guess this should work fine. I'll go to it and do Flask run, and yeah, it's working. So let me reload this page. There is nothing in our database. I'll add something, that is this will be deleted with an E, and I'll add another thing. I will say this will be completed. Okay, I'll add this. So let's delete the deleted one and complete the completed one. It's still showing the complete button. Why is it showing the complete button? Let's see. If I kill it and let me clear this, I'll run Flask shell, and from app import do's equals to do's dot query dot first, and what is t? So t dot is underscore completed. It's true. If it's so, I guess there is an error with our logical error with our if statement. So let me open up my index.html, and here let's say if it returns true, make it false. Thus do not render this if statement. I don't see any error. Did I not save this file? Flask should run. Yeah, so let's complete it. It is going to the right URL and still not working. Let's just remove that note. Maybe that will fix the error. As you can see, my problem solving skills suck. So yeah, I'm working on that little bit. I'll write and quit it, and I'll do Flask run. I'll reload this page. Of course, I don't need to put note there. So yeah, it's working fine. As you can see, that's it.